Okay, so here we go. First of all, the first part of the test, on the first page, is just going to be vocabulary words. And so we did this when we started out this chapter. On the next day, I even said, let's make a list of vocabulary words. So you want to do that right now? Let's do it real quickly. How many vocabulary words do you think could be possible on this test? So can we just go down the aisle and just kind of keep saying a new word, a new phrase, or whatever? And all right, Madison, you have the easy thing because you get to be number one. What is it? Okay, so chemical reactions. Okay, so chemical reactions, that could be one. What's another one? It's the name of the chapter. Next one, Sarah. Real loud. Products, okay. Next. Chemical equations. And chemical equations stand for an actual chemical reaction. So I'm going to abbreviate. Chemical equation, Aurora.
Chemical formula.
Okay, now even though I will put, it might be on there, chemical formulas might be on there, but we had that last chapter, but it might be on this chapter too. It could be chemical formulas. All right, next.
Chemical symbols.
Okay, now it could be, and we had that at the beginning of the year, and so this is not really new. This is new. Okay, I'll take it for right now. Yes, next one. One more time.
Coefficients.
Yes. And we know when you balance with coefficients. Okay, next. You have your packet with you.
Yeah, I think I got it.
There's one that goes along with products. Products are found on the right-hand side of the arrow. What do you find on the left side? Or do you have another vocabulary word? How about that? Got one? All right, the other side, the right-hand side of the arrow has the products, the things that are going to be produced. The things that are going to react are called reactants. Okay, so the reactants are on the left side of the arrow, the products are on the right. Okay, next one, Daniel.
Balancing.
Right, balancing. So when you balance an equation, you have your coefficients and make sure you have the same number of atoms of each kind on each side. Okay, what's another one? Next one.
Non-reactive.
What is it?
Non-reactive.
Like what? A non-reaction, I'm not sure, we didn't talk about that, but we did talk about things that the arrow, what's the arrow stand for? Yields. What's another way of saying yields? The arrow means yields. What else? Produces, makes. Like that. Everybody get that? All right. How about another one? How about S, L, G, A, Q? How about those? Who knows that one? You know those? All right. What are they? Real quickly. How about S? Solid, liquid, gas, dissolved in water, AQ. Okay, how about this? Remember that? What's that? Single replacement, double replacement, synthesis, that's a vocabulary word. Decomposition, that's a vocabulary word. Combustion. Okay, see that? Everybody see that? So right now, we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have at least 15 here. And so that's a pretty good job at looking at vocabulary words. Next part, kind of like the quiz today, I have, and first of all, vocab, I think I have around 10. Somewhere around 10. I don't remember the exact number. And then I have 8 to 10 where I have the whole equation for you. All you have to do is classify it for me. Get that? Is it single replacement? Is it double replacement? Okay, yes. Yeah. So everybody got that? You said, wait a minute, I think the first 20 questions here, I'm going to do pretty well. Okay? The next one, I have about 10 where, just like you did today, you have to balance it. Some will be a little easier, some will be a little harder. See that? You got that? Okay, so then, and then the last thing we're going to do is today is where you take words and turn it into a balanced equation like that. And that's probably the toughest thing to do, but it won't be, I may only have 6 questions on there. And I may make some of those extra credit, because this is the hardest part, and I don't want to make that, I don't want the test to be mostly about that. You get that? Most of the test, 80% of the test is what I just said. Get it? Okay, so that's what we're going to start today, and are you feeling okay about that? Now, I want you to do well on this homework assignment, but if you have not picked this up, you're not taking it home with you, you're not doing anything with it, and it's been a week, it's been maybe more than a week. Let's look at here. Right here, I don't really see anything great in here. We're going to talk about this here in a minute, but they're called driving forces. I may not even ask that on this because it kind of comes in the next chapter, but I'm not worried about that page too much. This page here, this is what we did yesterday. It's your job. It's your job to make sure you classify these. And then these little check marks, these check marks mean I classified and I balanced it. I classified or I wrote balanced. It was already balanced. See that? And I double checked my work. Why would I not get it perfect on my homework? Now we come over here, and we were doing some of these yesterday, I think, weren't we? And you had to, this looked like the quiz, didn't it? Ooh, that was kind of like the quiz, wasn't it? Anyway, so you had to classify it, and you had to balance it. It's your job to finish these. If we didn't do these in class, it's your job to finish it. That's your homework. Okay, now, come over here, and what are you supposed to do on this page? And again, you've had this packet for a while. So what are you going to do here? What does it say? All I have to do is classify it, and they don't even have combustion on here. All I have to do is classify. You get that? That's going to be very similar to what's on the test. And here, all you have to do is, I shouldn't say all, you have to balance it. I'm telling you, the more you do those, the more practice you get better and better at it. If you're not picking these up and doing these at home, and you say, I'll probably do okay. I don't know about that. Practice it, practice it. Practice the tricks, you know? If I look at this right here, do you see any tricks here? Any balancing tricks you see? Look at this. What do you think? See any? Right here? What's it called? What's the trick to learn how to balance that one? Oh man, really? What is it?
Is it odd, isn't
It is. See, here's 03 and here's 02. What's the smallest number they both go into? Is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. So that gives me 6 oxygens, 6 oxygens. But it gives me 2 what? 2 potassiums. I only have 1 here. Now I have 2 potassiums, but that gives you 2 chlorines. I have 2 chlorines. See that? And again, if you practice this, you'll just get better and better at it like that. Okay, here's a little trick over here. I noticed that as I scan through here, notice how it said calcium hydroxide? Uh-oh, here's a hydroxide on one side of the arrow, and here's water on the other. So if I write that water as HOH, it'll be a lot easier to balance. Remember that? And again, we did this over and we've done this many, many times. And now, here's some more practice, and I want to show you this one right here. It's very similar to the other one we did. Does everybody recognize that that's combustion? Does everybody recognize that? It's got a carbon-hydrogen reactant. You're going to burn it. Burn means combine with oxygen. And you're going to produce carbon dioxide and water. That's M. That's combustion. Right? Okay, so now, if we were going to balance that, we have to be, I'm not going to do oxygen first because it's in too many things, right? So what if you decided to do carbon first? 8 carbons, 1 carbon. 8 carbons. Okay, I'm doing pretty well. 18 hydrogens. 18 hydrogens, how are you going to get 18 over here? You're going to put a 9 here, aren't you? But one of my tricks told you, on combustion, don't put an odd number in front of water. But you just did. You'll never balance it. If you leave that 9 there, it'll never balance. So what do we do that 9? What do we change the 9 into? 18. You have to double it. Okay, now how many hydrogens do you have? Ooh, 18 times 2 is what? 36? How are you going to get 36 hydrogens over here? There's 36. Wait a minute. How many carbons is that? 16. I got to change this guy then. Okay. And here we go. We're almost done. If we do oxygens, we're going to be done. Watch now. 16 times 2. 32 oxygens. 18 times 1. 50. Woo! I have 50 oxygens on the right. How am I supposed to get 50 on the left? You know. I'll bet something times 2 equals 50. That's it. See? It was easier than you thought, didn't it? Yes? Okay. So, again, that's why I wanted you to practice these things. You practice, all right? Now, I'm going to do now what I consider to be the hardest part, and it's not the biggest part of the test. As a matter of fact, it's kind of a small part of the test, but it's the hardest part. Have we got that? All right, so let's try it. Now, what we're over here is you're going to take English words, and translate them into a chemical equation. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you, and then I'm going to let you get in little groups and try a couple of these. All right, so here we go. How do you write zinc? Okay, that's easy. And, you told me I had to make sure I knew how to write formulas. Yes, I did. How are you going to write lead 2 nitrate? Okay, first of all, lead is Pb. And what does lead 2 mean? What's that Roman numeral 2 mean? Yes, plus 2, yes. And nitrate is the number 1 polyatomic ion. I use it more than any other in class. What's nitrate? What's the charge on nitrate? Isn't it -1? Well, that won't work. You can't have plus 2 and -1. What are you going to do about it? Don't we have to have 2 nitrates? When's the only time we use parentheses? When you need more than 1 polyatomic ion. Is that right? Okay, next. Yields. Oh, I know that one. What's the next one? What's it say? May, are you with me? Okay. Do you know how to write formulas? How do you write zinc nitrate? Okay. How do you write nitrate? That's nitrogen. How do you write nitrate? No, that's nickel. And see, you remember how you wrote lead nitrate over here? What's nitrate? What's the charge on nitrate, the polyatomic ion nitrate? What's the charge on nitrate? What is it? -1. Now, what's the charge on zinc in a compound? And again, we had this chapter. I know you didn't, That's right. It's an always metal. These are always +1. These are always +2. Sorry, hang on. Come back. There you go. And then we had 3 more, didn't we? We had silver, zinc, aluminum, +1, +2, +3. So zinc is +2. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Julie.
Sorry. I was gonna ask, how do you know, there's gonna be a parenthesis?
Okay. The only time parentheses are used when writing a formula is when you need more than 1 polyatomic ion. Each nitrate was -1, but this lead was +2, right? And I had to have another nitrate, don't I? How do you get 2 nitrates? You put a parentheses around it, put a 2 there, 2 nitrates. So 2 times -1, -2. See that? Good question. Now here, do I need more than 1 nitrate here? What? Yes, I do. So there, I'll do it again. And then what's the other thing that's left out? Oh, I see. Wait a minute. I can tell what happened here. Zinc did what? What did zinc do? Zinc kicked out the lead and said, I'm going to form a compound with nitrate. How would you classify this guy? A plus BC. What is it? Very good. Okay, now we have to balance it. Ready? Scan, 1 zinc, 1 zinc, 1 lead, 1 lead. 2 nitrates, 2 nitrates. I'm required to write the word balanced because it's already balanced. All right, what do you think? Okay, we're gonna do one more, and now I'll let you guys do some together, okay? All right, aluminum bromide. What do you think? What about, I bet you're gonna write this. Aluminum bromide. What's the other element? Is that right? Now, is that it, or am I done? Am I done? What's the charge of aluminum in a compound? +3. What about bromine? Bromine. All the enes are all the same, aren't they? -1. Uh-oh, that won't work unless I do what? I need 3 bromines, don't I? Is that right? Okay. Now again, this is a small part of the test, all right? But I do ask you because you should be able to do some of these. Now, here's a tough one. This is a tough one. How do I write this next one? It doesn't look tough. How do we do that? And what are you going to write here? This is a tough one. Anybody? Is that it? All right. Yes and no. Yes and no. God, when he made some elements, you can have one zinc atom by itself. He said that's okay. But there were some elements, and you know about this, there were some elements he said, when they're just the element, they had to be diatomic. What are the diatomic elements? Oh, there's another vocabulary word. What are the diatomic elements? Meaning, when they're by themselves, they have to be 2 of them together. What are they? The ones that end in gin. What are the elements that end in gin? Oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen. And the ones that end in ene, and they're all in the same column. What are the diatomic elements that end in ene? Chlorine, chlorine, bromine. Okay, so now, this is what makes this tricky. Chlorine by itself is not Cl, it's Cl2. Okay, ready? Let's do the next one. Aluminum chloride. -1, +3. Now, it's just a coincidence that this guy was -1 and this guy's -1. That's why that's 3. You got that? And what's the other thing? What are you going to write here? Don't let me down. Somebody said it. Br2. Isn't that one of the diatomic elements? Okay, now we can balance it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I see something going on here. What do you see there? A little odd even mismatch there. Let's try it. 3 times 2 is the same as 2 times 3. Is that right? 6 bromines. 6 bromines. All right, I like that. But how many aluminums is that? 2 aluminums. Well, we're going to put a 2 here. But wait, that gives you how many chlorines? 6. You only got 2 here.
3.
Yeah. Okay. Now wait, can you reduce it? No. We did it. Now you have to classify it. Classify it. Do you see how the chlorine came over and kicked the bromine out? What are you going to classify this as? Single replacement. All right, your homework tonight. Your homework tonight. This is always your homework. Got that? But can you try 2 of these? Try 2 of these, and then any of the other ones that you already know how to do, try to finish a page. Okay, you don't want to have a lot of homework on Thursday night. You want to say, I want to study some stuff. So look at your paper. If you only get a couple of these done, I'm okay. But the rest of the packet should be pretty close to being done. Yes. Oh, thank you. All right, here we go. When I call your name, just come up here and get it. And they're in alphabetical order. All right, now Meg. Here we go. And Aurora is next. Daniel is next. Okay, we have Isabel's not here, and Delaney is here, and Julia is here. Delaney, Julia. Okay, Layla, and then Sierra. Layla. Just like getting your diplomas? No. And then we have Kyle and Doc. There we go.
That's so good.
They got mad at me last time I got it always.
Hey, next quarter, you got it, baby. Woo! Get into it.